People keep asking the same question in different ways. What's the secret? What's the one stock? What's the one move that changes everything? They are chasing that one magical moment, that one lucky break that turns an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. But here's the truth that disappoints almost everyone. There is no single move. There is no shortcut, no lottery ticket, no secret formula that instantly transforms your life. The real difference between average and extraordinary isn't one big decision. It's thousands of small ones. It's what you do every single day when nobody is watching. It's the boring, repetitive, disciplined actions that stack over time and create something unstoppable. People underestimate consistency because it doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't give instant results, but that's exactly why it works. Most people give up too early because they don't see immediate rewards. They keep searching for something faster, something easier, something more glamorous, and in doing so, they miss the only thing that truly works. Today, instead of giving you a stock tip or predicting the market, I'm going to give you something far more valuable. I'm going to show you the operating system behind long-term success. Not tricks, not hacks, but habits. The kind of habits that quietly build power over years until one day, the results look like magic to everyone else. But it's not magic. It's math. It's discipline. It's compounding. Before you understand success, you must understand the most powerful force behind it, and that is compounding. Most people think of compounding only in terms of money, but its real power goes far beyond that. Imagine you had a penny that doubled every day. At first, it feels meaningless. 1 cent becomes 2, then 4, then 8. After a week, it still feels small, but then something changes. The growth accelerates. By day 20, it becomes thousands. By day 30, it becomes millions. This is the nature of compounding. It starts slow, almost invisible, and then suddenly becomes explosive. Now here is what most people miss. Knowledge compounds the same way. Habits compound, skills compound, every small improvement you make today builds on itself tomorrow. If you get just 1% better every day, the results after a year are not small, they are transformational. You don't just improve, you evolve into a completely different person. The problem is that this process feels boring in the beginning. There is no excitement, no instant reward. It feels like nothing is happening. That's why most people quit. They never stay long enough to experience the exponential phase. They give up while still in the slow stage, but those who understand compounding stay patient. They trust the process. They keep pushing that small snowball forward, knowing that one day it will turn into something massive. This is the foundation of everything that follows. The first and most powerful habit is simple, but not easy. Reading. Not casual reading, not entertainment reading, but intentional, focused reading. This is the habit that fuels everything else. While most people consume noise, reacting to headlines, scrolling endlessly, and absorbing opinions, the real advantage comes from building deep understanding. Reading is not about collecting random facts. It's about building a mental map of how the world works. Think of it like this. Most people read like they are searching for gold in a river, hoping to find one useful idea. But the real winners read like geologists. They are studying the entire landscape. They want to understand the structure, the patterns, the hidden connections. They are not looking for quick answers. They are building long-term insight. This is how you develop what is called a circle of competence. Instead of trying to know everything, you focus on truly understanding a few things deeply. Over time, this creates a massive advantage because you can see opportunities and risks that others completely miss. And here's the biggest benefit. Reading reduces risk. Most people think investing is risky, but the truth is, ignorance is the real risk. When you don't understand what you're doing, every decision becomes a gamble. But when you take the time to learn, to study, and to understand, risk begins to disappear. Knowledge gives you clarity, and clarity gives you confidence. That is the true power of this habit. Now that you understand the power of knowledge and compounding, you face the second and far more dangerous enemy, distraction. Most people don't fail because they lack intelligence or opportunity. They fail because they lose control of their time. Every day, small interruptions quietly steal your focus. A quick message, a random meeting, a phone notification, a casual conversation. None of these seem harmful on their own, but together they destroy your ability to think deeply. The modern world is designed to keep you busy, not effective. It rewards constant activity, endless responsiveness, and surface-level engagement. But busyness is not progress. You can spend an entire day feeling productive and still accomplish nothing meaningful. The real danger is that these distractions don't feel like problems. They feel normal. Everyone else is doing the same thing, so it seems acceptable. But while others are reacting, the few who succeed are thinking. They are creating space to process information, to connect ideas, and to make better decisions. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that truly matters. You are trading long-term growth for short-term comfort. And over time, these small trade-offs compound into massive differences. The people who win are not necessarily smarter. They are simply more protective of their time. They understand that attention is their most valuable asset, and they refuse to waste it on things that don't move their life forward. The second habit is simple but extremely difficult to practice. Aggressively protect your time. Think of your time as a fortress, and every request, every meeting, every distraction is trying to break through its walls. If you don't defend it, it will be taken from you piece by piece. Most people treat their time like it's unlimited. But in reality, it's the only resource you can never get back. Money can be earned again, opportunities can return, but time once lost is gone forever. This is why the most successful individuals are extremely selective about how they spend their hours. They say no far more often than they say yes, not because they are rude, but because they understand the value of focus. They prioritize activities that create long-term impact and eliminate anything that doesn't. This requires clarity. You must know what truly matters in your life and be willing to reject everything else. One powerful method is to identify your top priorities and treat everything outside of them as a distraction. Even good opportunities can be dangerous if they take you away from your main goals. This is where discipline becomes essential. It's easy to stay focused when everything is going well, but the real challenge is maintaining that focus when distractions are constantly pulling you away. Protecting your time is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it better. It's about creating space for deep work, deep thinking, and meaningful progress. Without this habit, even the best knowledge in the world will never translate into real results. Once you begin protecting your time, something powerful happens. You create space for deep thinking. And this is where real value is created. Most people spend their entire day in reactive mode. They respond to emails, attend meetings, scroll through information, and move from one task to another without ever stopping to think deeply. Their mind is constantly occupied, but rarely focused. This prevents them from making meaningful progress because real breakthroughs don't happen in chaos. They happen in silence. Deep thinking is the ability to sit with information, analyze it, question it, and connect it in ways that others don't. It's the process of turning raw knowledge into insight. This is what separates average performers from exceptional ones. The world may reward speed, but true success comes from depth. When you give your brain uninterrupted time, it begins to work differently. It starts forming connections, recognizing patterns, and generating ideas that are not obvious at first glance. This is why some of the best decisions are made not in meetings, but in quiet moments of reflection. However, deep thinking requires discipline. It requires you to resist the urge to constantly check your phone, respond to notifications, or fill every moment with activity. It requires patience. In the beginning, it may feel uncomfortable because you are not used to being still, but over time, it becomes your greatest advantage, because while others are distracted, you are focused. While others are reacting, you are thinking. And in the long run, that difference becomes everything. The third and most powerful habit is not about what you do, but how you judge yourself. It is the difference between living your life based on external validation versus internal conviction. Most people operate on what can be called an outer scorecard. They measure success based on what others think: their job title, their income, their status, their reputation, and the approval they receive from society. Every decision they make is influenced by how it will be perceived. They choose careers to impress, make investments to follow trends, and take actions to avoid looking foolish in front of others. But this approach is dangerous because the crowd is inconsistent, emotional, and often wrong. When you rely on external validation, you give up control over your decisions. You become reactive instead of rational. The alternative is the inner scorecard. This is your personal standard of success. It is based on your values, your principles, and your understanding of what is right, regardless of what others think. When you operate on an inner scorecard, your decisions are guided by logic and integrity, not by fear or approval. This gives you a massive advantage because you are no longer influenced by the noise of the crowd. You are able to stay consistent, even when others panic or become overly excited. This habit is not easy to develop, but once you build it, it becomes your strongest defense against poor decisions. It allows you to act with clarity, confidence, and discipline in situations where most people fail. The true power of the inner scorecard becomes clear when you are faced with pressure from the outside world. Markets rise and fall, opinions shift rapidly, and emotions spread like wildfire. In such an environment, most people struggle to think independently. They follow the crowd because it feels safe. When everyone is buying, they buy. When everyone is selling, they panic and do the same. This behavior creates cycles of greed and fear that trap the majority. But those who rely on their inner scorecard are able to step back and think differently. They do not react to noise. They analyze facts. They rely on the knowledge they have built and the time they have spent thinking deeply. This allows them to act when others hesitate and stay calm when others panic. Independent thinking is not about being different for the sake of it. It is about being right based on your own understanding. It requires courage because at times you will stand alone. You may appear wrong in the short term. You may face criticism or doubt. But over time, rational decisions based on solid thinking tend to win. This is how true success is built, not by following the crowd, but by having the confidence to trust your own judgment when it matters most. At the core of the inner scorecard is integrity. This is the principle that ensures your actions align with your values, even when no one is watching. Integrity is not just about being honest with others. It is about being honest with yourself. It is about making decisions that you can stand by, regardless of the outcome. In the short term, it may seem like cutting corners or following shortcuts can lead to faster results. But in the long term, integrity compounds just like knowledge and habits. Every decision you make either strengthens or weakens your character. Over time, this creates a reputation that becomes one of your most valuable assets. People trust those who are consistent and principled. Opportunities flow to those who demonstrate reliability and honesty. More importantly, integrity provides internal stability. It removes doubt, reduces stress, and allows you to focus on what truly matters. When your actions are aligned with your values, you don't need external validation. You know you are doing the right thing. This clarity becomes a powerful advantage, especially in uncertain situations. It allows you to stay grounded when others are influenced by fear or greed. In the long run, success is not just about wealth, but about becoming someone you respect. And that is something money alone can never buy. Now everything comes together. Success is not a single event, but a process. It is the result of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Reading feeds your mind with knowledge. Protecting your time creates space for that knowledge to grow. And the inner scorecard ensures that your decisions are guided by principles rather than emotions. These three habits form a system that compounds quietly. Day after day, year after year, until the results become undeniable. Most people will ignore this. They will continue searching for shortcuts, hoping for quick wins, and chasing external validation. They will remain stuck in the cycle of short-term thinking. But those who understand this process will take a different path. They will start small. They will commit to one habit. They will stay consistent even when progress feels slow. And over time, they will experience the true power of compounding. Their knowledge will grow, their decisions will improve, and their confidence will strengthen. They will not just become more successful financially, but more capable, more disciplined, and more self-aware. This is the real reward, not just wealth, but transformation. A life built on purpose, clarity, and control. The journey is long, but it is worth it. And it all begins with a single decision to start today.